Hey guys, welcome back to Sound Advice. I'm Joel. This is Mike. We're back again for the first time on location. We talked about that we were going to record several of these around at some of our favorite venues, and this is the first opportunity we've had to do this. Super excited. Where are we?
We are at the barn at Bay Horse Inn in Greenwood, Indiana. This is actually the closest venue to my house, which is one of the reasons I love it so much.
3 minutes away.
3 minutes away. So, in all seriousness, this place so versatile. It's got a beautiful outdoor space, beautiful indoor space. It's kind of decorated right now for the holiday season. There's just so many great attributes about this location and this venue.
Like an actual saloon that we are in.
Yes, we are in the saloon part of the venue, which is it's just so unique. It's such a great little piece of this venue. As you'll see right now, we're going to roll a little promo for you from the barn at Bay Horse Inn. Enjoy. See, this place is amazing. Yes, it is.
It is a one-stop shop for weddings. Amazing ceremony site, getting ready site. There's not a shortage of places for pictures here.
No.
It's stunning. The main ballroom, the main banquet room is remarkable.
And don't let the word barn fool you either, because this is, I mean, there are very rustic barns that you can go to if that's your style, but this is, however, it does have rustic feel, but it's very modern. It has a very modern feel. You don't feel like you're in a barn when you're actually here. So something to think about. And it's a great place, like I said, to do if you're going to have your ceremony on site. They got a beautiful outdoor space, which you saw in the video. Just a great place. The staff here is amazing. Bailey will take care of you, and everybody here on staff is just phenomenal.
We were talking about how this is actually a saloon part of it. It's got swinging saloon doors. This is where your guests will come to get their drink, and there's a full bar. And speaking of which,
drink,
as we do every episode, we are featuring, this one's very special because this is not something you can just go to any liquor store and get. You can only get it here. If you're out of town, email them. Maybe they'll work something out where they can send you something. But
Bailey,
I'm going to let Mike tell you about this.
Yeah, so this is, actually this is, and I'm not just saying this because I'm here, but this is one of my favorite bourbons that I've ever tasted. It has an Angel's Envy feel to it with a touch of cinnamon, just absolutely delicious, and it's got a great finish.
What's it called?
It's called the Barn at Bay Horse Inn.
No.
Bay
Horse.
Yeah, it's the Barn at Bay Horse Inn, private label. When they built this in 2017, I believe is when they actually opened. They went and bought a barrel. And it's been aged. They just released this last year, so it's been aging for quite a while. And I'm telling you guys, it's really good. It's really special. Let's have a sample.
Barn at Bay Horse Inn, straight bourbon whiskey.
Cheers.
It's my first time having it.
Man, that's good. It's just so good.
Oh my!
It's good.
That's very good. That does have a little cinnamon to it.
It does. It's
But
got a great finish.
Not over the top. Oh, that's smooth.
Yes, it's hardly any burn at all. It's just really special, guys. If you're a bourbon fan,
You got to get some of this.
you've got to try some. It is just absolutely
It's
fantastic.
incredible.
Yes, it is.
All right. Well, we've got some topics this week. What are we talking about?
Yeah, so we were talking about a few things what we wanted to bring into this episode. And we're going to talk about trends today, wedding trends, trends that have kind of phased out, trends that we see that are coming into play.
Some that we wish would go away.
Yes, absolutely. So let's first talk about the ones that are fading, that we notice have been fading out. I'll start off. So the garter and bouquet toss. Okay, so that one has been fading for the last few years, actually. The bouquet still is around. The garter pretty much has kind of phased itself away.
I have done a grand total of 0 garter tosses this year.
Wow.
And I can probably count on one hand the number of bouquet tosses.
Wow, that's
So-
crazy.
And I've had brides sometimes want to do a bouquet toss. Halfway through the night, they're like, forget it.
Mm-hmm.
Even they don't care. It's one of those things that I think they just think, well, I got to do a bouquet toss. And when the time comes, they're like, no, I don't. I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
So it's those two are going
Yeah,
away.
things that you can do in lieu of a bouquet toss. Dedication. If they're having an anniversary dance, you can present that bouquet to the longest married couple at the end of the dance. That's a great one. 2 weeks ago, I actually had a bride dedicate that bouquet to her mom.
Yep, I've had that this year too.
Because she just had lost her dad recently, and so she wanted to give her mom something special. So there's always things that you can do in lieu of that to kind of make up, if you do want to incorporate that bouquet toss.
Yes. I say think about what you want and what you don't want. Don't decide to do things just because it's, well, everybody does that. Because believe me, they don't. And don't let other people try to tell you, well, you have to do a bouquet toss.
Yeah.
You have to do an anniversary dance. Again, anniversary dances, they're hit or miss, about 50% these days.
Yep.
But bouquet and garter are two things that are going away. The other thing is dollar dance.
Yes, dollar dances.
Haven't done a dollar dance in years, but people,
I
always the parents. Brides, grooms, don't let your parents try to force you to do a dollar dance.
Exactly.
Because it's awkward, and I'll tell you why it's awkward.
Yep.
Nobody carries cash anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So unless you're out there and your maid of honor and best man have a Venmo QR code for everybody to scan, which kind of defeats the whole purpose.
Yeah.
Don't do a dollar dance.
Yeah.
It's cheesy. Your guests have already spent a lot of money to be there. They bought a new outfit. They got off work early. Maybe took the day off.
Yeah.
They're giving up their evening. They're celebrating with you. They're loving it. It's kind of tacky to ask them for money just to dance,
It really
and you
is.
end up making $36. So
Yeah.
you know.
That one's definitely. I can't tell you the last time I did a dollar dance. It's been a long time. That's exactly the examples that I give my couples, because most of the time nowadays they'll ask, "What about a dollar dance? Do you think we should do a dollar dance?" And I never say yes or no, because if they really want to do it and their heart's in the right place and they want that incorporated, then I don't want to tell them no. But I tell them exactly what you said, and they're like, "Oh, I didn't even ever think about that." So and they usually will just kind of go and do something different and in its place or whatnot. So yes, what other things were we talking about? The traditional cake cutting it is another one that I've seen kind of being phased away. So they'll have dessert stations set up, things like that.
I've seen couples do pie, desserts, whatever, not even have a cake.
Yep.
Or they may have a cake, and they've told me, I've had numerous couples tell me this year, we're going to cut it, but we don't want it to be
Yes.
announced.
We don't want to be announced. We don't want
No big production with it. It's just them and their photographers.
They're going to grab the photographer,
And they cut
take him
the
to the cake,
Yeah.
do their little private cake cutting. Nobody in the room knows really what's going on, and
Nobody
and it's-
cares.
Yeah.
One thing we're going to be here is very blunt.
Yes. Exactly.
Nobody cares about your cake cutting to watch it. They want to eat the cake, so hurry up and cut it so they can serve it. But the whole big production of a cake cutting, unless you're in some grand ballroom and they still pop a champagne cork and have a champagne fountain with your cake and all that, most places don't have that anymore.
Yeah. Exactly.
So we were talking about up and coming trends.
Yes, trends that we've seen that, and as of late, that are definitely different. Start off with the private dance, private last dance. So that's kind of a big thing now. So we'll get all of the guests at the end of the night will be asked to leave the room, make your way on outside, and a lot of times what they're doing is preparing for the grand exit, so we can get them lined up outside while we're doing that last private dance. So it's a moment for the bride and groom to be by themselves completely, besides us. And it's a very, I love it. I think it's great.
It's very intimate.
Yep.
And let me tell you, at the end of your wedding, you have had, it's been go, 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 especially if you're the bride, since 7 a.m. You get up, you have mimosas, and you start doing hair, and you start doing all kinds of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And people have been with you all day. It's been nonstop.
Mm-hmm.
You're ragged by the end of the day. It's been wonderful. You want to come down from that celebration. But to get everybody out of the room and just have it be you, your husband, your wife, your spouse, just the two of you in there. And for me personally, when we have like dance floor lights going for the night, I'm turning those off. It's going to be dimly lit. It's going to be very private, very intimate. And you two are the only people in the world. You have your last dance. And to end a whole day of craziness, just the two of you.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't describe what the reaction I've seen from couples at the end of the dance. They don't realize how special it is until they're in that moment.
Yes.
And it's...
You can almost see it drain all of the stress and all of the anxiety of the day, and the excitement is just draining from their bodies during that last private dance, because it's like all of that entire year to 18 months of planning has come down to this very moment in time.
Yeah.
And it's something they can share without anybody else being around, and really just, I'd love to be a little fly on the wall sometimes and hear some of those conversations, because that's what it's all about, guys. I mean, it's that moment in time when you can just let it sink in and just think about the entire day in just a couple, 2 or 3 minutes.
Yeah.
So it really is.
And when it's done, they go outside. All of your guests, your family and friends are out there.
They're already outside.
Lined up with sparklers, balloons,
Venue
whatever,
loves it
bubbles.
because then they can start cleaning and getting prepped up for all the cleanup and everything. So it works out good. Another thing we're going to talk about too today is private. Or we already talked about the private vows, or no, we didn't.
Not yet. No.
Okay, so let's do this first. First look or no first look. That is an important decision that a lot of people have struggled with on what decision is the right decision. Did you have a first look? Did you guys see each other before?
No, we had a very small one.
Did you? Okay.
Very.
Yeah, Jen and I didn't see each other for almost 2 entire days. So it was, and
Forget what you look like.
no, I didn't forget that. But seriously though, there's nothing that I can say that can compare to that moment when you see your wife to be or husband to be, when you turn around that corner for the first time in their dress and the tux or whatever they're wearing. I mean, it's just, it only lasts 2 to 3 seconds, okay? And yes, it's going to cut into your time for photos, because you're not going to get all the photos done before. You're going to be doing a lot of those during cocktail hour. So there'll be people who try to sway you away from it, but whatever is in your heart to do is what you need to stick with, and don't let anybody sway you one way or another. I would not have had it any other way.
There is no wrong way to do it.
There's no wrong way to do it.
Personal preference. There's something very special with both.
It is. And we did. Of course, it took some time getting those pictures done afterwards. But man, that 2 to 3 seconds of just seeing her for the first time in almost 2 days, I mean, I'm an emotional guy anyway. I made my hair fall out.
Never recovered from that one, did you?
I did. I've been trying for years. But no, seriously, man, guys, it's so good. It really is. So it's just there again. It's what you want. You got to weigh the good and the bad of everything. Maybe you're a person that really wants to enjoy some cocktail hour and some mingle time with your guests, and you're probably not going to get to do that if you do not do a first look. So things to think about on that. And then we're talking about
private vows.
Yes.
We're talking about private vows.
Private vows.
Vows are important. Some people feel, and this is from what people have told us, people feel awkward doing these really intimate vows with a microphone for
at the altar,
150 people to do, but they want to convey them. So regardless of whether you're a videographer or not, you can do your first vows to each other in private, whether there's a first look or not. If you've done a first look, great. 2 of you go off, photos, great pictures being taken, great video being caught. where you can read your vows to each other. If you're not doing a first look, do it around a corner. You know, there's that corner there. You're standing there with your backs and you
Hold hands and
Wow.
read each other.
read your vows, and still do a
Yeah.
very general vow. I don't want to say generic because they're not.
Yes.
Your more standard vows.
Traditional vows
Traditional
at the
vows
altar.
at the altar.
Personal vows, private vows.
Personalized vows takes
Around
time
that
to write
corner
them.
if you're not seeing each other beforehand. And if you are doing the first look, even better, because then you get to look at each other in the eye as you're reading these to each other in private and get to see that, because, man, I'm telling you, a lot of times it's the emotion
Yeah.
that when you don't get to see it, when it's actually happening, I mean, that's some of the best of the entire vows is the emotions.
Oh yeah.
Man, I'm so passionate about that. So anyway, I mean, that's options. That's the thing with this is there's no right or wrong answer, like Joel said. It's just what you want to incorporate, how you want to incorporate it, and that's what we're here for. I mean,
Encouraging you to think about these things.
yes,
And
because it's so
not-
important. It really
Not
is.
go in thinking this is what's always done, because it's really not. So many things are not done. So all these little things to think about: do I want this? Do I not want this? If you want a garter and bouquet toss, wonderful. You can have it, and it'll be fun. You know, like I said, we're just saying what most people are either doing now or getting away from, but it doesn't mean you can't do it or you have to do it or anything like that. So,
Yeah. One more. We'll do photo dash. Photo dash and group photo. We'll kind of bundle this up with photo dash and then / group photo. It really is because you want to get pictures of all of your guests with them. So the photo dash is good. If you haven't seen it, basically what you do is after dinner, as dinner's winding down, photographer will grab the bride and groom and just take them to every table. The table will gather together and get a picture with the bride and groom. So they have a picture of every single one of their guests.
So you say take them, that sounds very casual. It's a dash.
Yeah, well, you can. I've done it both ways.
Okay, all right.
So
Most
I've
of the
done
time
it
we
more-
do it,
yes.
it's a dash where it's fun and we tell people,
Yes.
we're not here to mingle and chit-chat and give hugs. You guys get into
Yes.
place and I'll play one high-energy song and they're running.
Yes.
And it's
So it
just,
can be a
it's
competition.
fun.
It can be a competition if you
Yeah.
want it to be.
You
But
can do it casual too, I guess.
and just last week, actually, the tables were set up rectangular and all the way down the line. So it was really hard for them to get up and get everybody in a group. So what they did is they had each individual rectangular table come up to them
Yep.
at their sweetheart table.
Yep.
So another great option, if you don't want to get up and run around, photographer likes that too a little bit better because
For
you're not running around, and just have each table of guests come up, gather around your sweetheart table or at the head table,
Yep.
and get a picture that way.
Yeah, I've seen it where bride and groom sit out in the middle of the dance floor, tables gather around.
Yep.
Love that, the photo dash with each table. The group photo, also fun.
Yep.
I recommend doing that. You have the three big dances, I call them, the father-daughter, or the first dance,
Yep.
father-daughter, mother-son.
Yep.
If you're doing those three traditionals, after the mother-son dance, it's when we open the dance floor.
Typically,
So
yeah.
I always say, let's do a group photo, if they want that, after the mother-son dance. Still got your captive audience. Everybody's been watching that. You invite everyone out. If your venue has a balcony or a loft or a staircase or something, the photographer can go up there. They have a ladder they can stand on, whatever. Get everyone on the dance floor. So you have you guys and all your guests together. Massive group picture. So much fun. As soon as that's done, lights are
Everybody's
coming
on
down.
the
Dance floor kicks
You've
off.
got I mean,
And people are just, the energy's already high. So,
one of the biggest questions that we always get is, how are we going to make sure that everybody's dancing?
well, you get the dance floor going.
Yeah, that right there is one surefire way to do it because you've got every single guest on that dance floor when you open up the dance floor.
Yeah.
So always a good thing to do with that too. And it's something I think a lot of bride groups will think about. Excuse me, is that they don't know that they want that picture
Yeah.
until after they have it.
Yeah.
They're
It
like, I
becomes
didn't
one of
really
their
think
favorite
about that.
pictures. Yeah.
So it ends up being one of the favorite pictures of the day. So,
Love it.
man, I love it too. So, what do you want our
That's it. I want to say,
things up with this
yeah,
one? Move
yeah.
on to number 6.
yeah, I'm losing count of how many we've done now.
Yes.
And we don't really, these are relevant for any time of the year, but we are going into the holidays. We're a week away from Thanksgiving right now.
Yep.
And we got Christmas. So we're going to try and get a few more recorded and hopefully hopefully put out at least 1 or 2 more before the end of the year. But if not, come January, we're going to be hitting this hard.
Yep.
And we'll be doing a lot more frequent releases of these videos.
Yeah.
New venues.
We
new
have
places.
we have 3 right now. We have the Garment Factory in Franklin, Indiana. We have the Indian Roof Ballroom downtown Indy that wants us to come up. So we've got people who own venues that want to be incorporated with this as well, which we love because we get to highlight their beautiful space, and it gives them an opportunity too to kind of showcase it as well.
Yep.
So
hey, we got more coming. We thank you guys very much. Again, shout out to Barnabas Horse Inn for letting us be here today.
And if you are a bourbon person, you need to come down and get some of this stuff. It is absolutely phenomenal. Yep. So have a great Thanksgiving.
Yep. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Holidays.
Happy holidays.
All that
And
good
we
stuff.
will be back to you guys soon. Cheers.
Cheers.